Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Summer and today I want to throw out some spicy idea. Yeah, one that might sound a little strange at first, so bear with me please. What if Guild Wars 2 could learn from roguelikes? Yes, you heard that right. One's a giant multiplayer RPG and the other is all about quick, often solo randomized runs. So what's the similarity there? But hear me out, because roguelikes are doing something really right when it comes to game design. And Guild Wars 2 could steal some of that magic. As always, special shout out to all my dear supporters, and now let's dive right into it. One of the biggest struggles in MMOs, especially in Guild Wars 2, is this constant tug of war between versatility and balance. Guild Wars 2 gives us so much build freedom, weapons, traits, elite specs, relics, you name it. But the moment you try something off meta or experimental, oftentimes you get punished, sometimes even very hard. Yes, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of builds that you can play that are still worthwhile playing, but oftentimes the meta builds are quite easy to find. It's quite clear which is the meta build, at least for a veteran like me. That's where Slay the Spire comes in. You might have heard of that game. In that game, you're encouraged to build weird, broke, janky decks. You build yourself your own deck by getting new cards, deleting old cards, and making some really weird interactions. You adapt to what you get and find powerful synergies on the fly. The system is designed around letting players be creative and then reward them for it. This is something that I miss in Guild Wars 2 oftentimes. Don't get me wrong, I think it's somewhat good already, but it could be way better if they would just try to find a way to make that in. I'm not saying I have a specific solution here. I'm just saying this is something that I personally would actually like to see implemented, would like to see improved and taken from other games. Imagine if Guild Wars 2 leaned more into that mindset of getting rewarded for trying out some crazy cooks. It is, to some extent, especially in PvP I would say, and in solo build crafting, quite cool to come up with some cool crazy ideas, but I think it would be even more important to go this route. Roguelikes are built on one key idea: your choices matter. In Slay the Spire, a single relic or card can completely flip your entire strategy. Suddenly your burn deck becomes a block engine, or your defense turns into damage, or you go infinite, means you always use a card, this procs another card, and then you can spam all your cards at once without going, so to say, ending your turn, stuff like that. And all of this feels well earned. Like, because you put the puzzle pieces together, you created your build on the fly, because something made tick, and you actually understood, okay, I can go with this and this and this, and then have some really cool puzzle in the end. Guild Wars 2 has so many cool systems, but imagine if more traits or skill transformed each other dynamically. Like looking at Necromancer trait that transforms your scepter skill free. If you had more traits like this and they changed the gameplay to each other, so if you have this weapon and then the offhand you change another thing and they work very well together, or they completely counter each other, whatever, have really cool synergies or dis-synergies to make the build crafting more interesting, and maybe even make that more for not only weapon skills, but maybe make it like, for example, for a Scourge Shroud, you can change the Shroud to become a different skill, the F5. I think stuff like that is amazing. If they would do more like that for other types of skills and classes, that would be amazing. Stuff like that is really cool. Or create synergies that made your build evolve mid-fight. It's not just about stats, it's about style, creativity, discovery. All that stuff is good in Guild Wars 2, don't get me wrong, I don't want to flame Guild Wars 2, this video is not about this. This video is way more about making the game even better. This is the idea here. By the way, if you enjoyed this video so far and want to see more of it, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And if you like this quite experimental video here, be sure to let me know in the comments as well to make more videos like that or go into deeper game discussions like this. Let's talk now about the third important part. Let's talk about how combat feels for a second. Even in a goofy roguelike like Potato, yes, it's not the most stylish looking roguelike, but it's quite fun. Your build, no matter how weird it is, still feels fun. Yes, you can go for crazy builds and they are insanely fun as well. You might be hurling knives at 300% attack speed while healing on hit, while being unable to move. But it works, at least to some extent. And it's satisfying. Very much so, I would say. In Guild Wars 2, the combat feels amazing. It feels really good, but it only feels really good if you have specific things. So in PvE, you really want to have quickness and alacrity or something. But as soon as you are in a solo build, in a scenario where you just run a specific build, and it's not meta, and it's not really good at what it wants to do, but it's a cool idea, then it feels horrible, the gameplay. Like, just looking at classes that have no access to quickness, and you play a solo build, don't get me wrong, they can work. and I made a lot of solo builds about it, but it feels not that fun. And this going off meta often feels slow, clunky, or straight up weak, and I think that's not nice. There is a lot of theory crafting in Guild Wars 2, but if you had every single build or every single weapon in most scenarios feel fun, that would be really good, at least in my opinion. I think this is a hard challenge to set. I'm just saying that would be amazing if they could do that. Not overpowered, just satisfying. This is the important part. And another example. Here's one of the secret weapons of roguelikes. That just one more run, turn, minute feeling. It's not about loot or raids or even progression. The gameplay loop itself feels being so addictive, so rewarding that you want to keep playing. It's not about getting more loot, getting more stuff that you can upgrade your character's item level or something like that, or just getting a legendary weapon. No, it's about you want to keep playing. Potato, Slay the Spire, Hades, they all have micro goals that hook you, or micro rewards that hook you, and you want to keep playing. That's amazing. Now imagine this in Guild Wars 2, a mode where you queue into a 10-minute roguelike fractal. Random trade swap, modifier events, unique combos, no two runs are the same. Some kind of roguelike fractal experience. That's just my idea here. Could be anything, to be honest. Just some kind of stuff that makes it rewarding, and you get like endlessly rewarded to some extent just by trying out different things, coming all with like some kind of mystic builds, if you know that. Something like that in this direction. For PvE, I think that would be such a cool feature. I'm not sure if people would like that, but I personally, as a build crafter, as a content creator, I think that would be such a cool feature. And if there are some rewards or unique titles or whatever, on top of that, even better. And the whole idea would be no two runs would be the same, and if you fail, no problem, just try again. There are other MMOs that have that, like Warframe, for example, with the circuit. I think this is a really cool addition, and if it had some rewards that you can have after that as well out of this mode, it would be really good, and it would, in my opinion, be very worthwhile to have this as some kind of repeatable content for endgame players. That's replayability without the grind. I think that's amazing. Another thing here I want to mention, obviously, should have mentioned it maybe a little bit earlier, but here's a paradoxon, of course. Roguelines are short games. They are often more replayable than MMOs, even though they are just very short and the run is typically below 1 hour. But MMOs typically last for hundreds, even thousands of hours. So what's the thing here? The Binding of Isaac, for example, is over 10 years old and people still play it like it just launched. Why? Because every run is unique and meaningful. So that means that you continue playing a specific game, just we want to have a different kind of build, a different kind of play style, and it doesn't need to reward you necessarily. It's just the longevity of having fun with different aspects of the game. I think Guild Wars 2 build crafting is really fun. That's why I still play the game. But I think if you have more longevity like that, even for casual players that just started the game and want to stay on a single character and not want to play like 9 different characters or 70 like I do, I think that might be something that is really helping the game. Guild Wars 2 could tap into this by leaning harder into run-based variety, rotating the fractal challenges like they already do it, but maybe make it even more like that in the future. That you have more rewards in the fractals for a specific like instability combination. Randomized modifiers, they already have this in fractals, but why not have that in raids for an additional reward? I don't know if people would like that, but whatever. Maybe have some trade shuffles in there so that you are not allowed to use alacrity in this challenge or something like that.
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know, that seems a little bit forced and people would not like it, but other ideas like that. And just some wild cosmetic only reward chases that you can get for a specific like hard challenge. Maybe it's a really fun idea that you are forced to use. So for example, you are forced to play this fractal with having only this amount of gear stats maximum or something, so that it actually becomes way harder and you can't burst them down or whatever. There are different things that you could make it here and just get some cool incentives to play this for having the same content, but just a little different swing on it. I think that would be cool. All the benefits of fresh content without needing an entire new map every single time or new entire fractal or whatever. I think that would be a really cool feature. But I'm just like babbling here. This is my idea. Maybe developers say that's horrible, or maybe you would say that's horrible as well. Just let me know in the comments. Now to the next topic. Let's talk about scaling. In Hades, you have the Pact of Punishment, so in Hades 1. And something similar of like that exists, of course, in Hades 2 as well. A lot of roguelikes have scaling difficulties. Guild Wars 2 never had that in the beginning, and slowly now introduces some kind of easy modes, for example with the quick play feature. And in general, this Pact of Punishment in Hades is a system that lets you choose how much harder the next run is. So you can design it quite like detailed if you want to have more time, less time, if you want to have harder hitting enemies. So you can really tune it. It's not just like you increase the scale by 1 in 3 difficulties. No, you can scale it extremely well. So you can, for example, say, want more enemies to deal more damage. Done. You want to have more time, less time. If you want shop prices to skyrocket, be my guest. And the game rewards you for the risk. So when you increase the risk, you get more by playing the game. You get more for it. And you, of course, can compare it to other people and stuff. How fast did you do it? Did you actually reach the highest room? Did you kill the end boss? Stuff like that. I think that's really cool. Guild Wars 2 does this a bit with challenge modes. Like we have currently for raids, we have normal mode, challenge mode, and some bosses have the legendary challenge mode. But I think there should be some kind of easy mode as well, and maybe even make it tunable, that you can say, okay, I want to have, like in Fractals, like I want to have a scale. Maybe that's possible, but I think the best way would be having an easy mode, normal mode, and a challenge mode for each raid fight and strike mission. Stuff like that would be really important. Scaling difficulty is something that we need. Other MMOs have that since the beginning of time, and I think Guild Wars 2 needs that now as well, and I think quick play is the first step in that direction. Before starting a Fractal or Strike, you should be able to toggle things like, if you want to see time limits, if you want to get more combat handicaps, skill lockouts, random elite adds, stuff like that would be really cool if you could just add that and get some additional rewards. They have this in, for example, for Steel Strike mission, you can add some more challenge. No one does it because the rewards are not that worthwhile, or most people either fail or don't get the rewards then. So I think this is, they could implement that well. It's not necessary that you would do that. I think having at least 3 or 4 difficulty modes for every single game mode would be good. But if you could add some additional challenges for more rewards, would be even better. Now we've got endless replayability if you have that, and players opt into their own challenge and would not say, no, I don't care, because if the rewards are worthwhile and if there's fun additions, not just some really annoying ones, I think that would be really good. Fractals do that quite well. I think why not other content as well? So here's my take to summarize. Roguelikes have mastered something MMOs still struggle with. They give us creative freedom, fast feedback, dynamic progression, and endless player-driven replayability. Guild Wars 2 doesn't need to become a roguelike. I don't want that. I like roguelikes, but I like Guild Wars 2 way more. I think Guild Wars 2 can borrow some of those ideas and implement them and become way more replayable, rewarding, and fun as a result. Some crazy ideas that are in here, but this could be the future of casual and hardcore PvE in Guild Wars 2. So I personally think this would be a really cool thing to implement some kind of roguelike features in Guild Wars 2. How it would like how it would turn out to be, I think that's obviously completely open. I'm just throwing some ideas in the room here, and I think that's a really cool debate to start here. All right, that's my rant. Now I want to hear from you. Have you played any roguelikes that you think Guild Wars 2 could learn from? Would you want to play a roguelike mode in the world of Tyria? And let me know if you want to see more debates like this and maybe even some roguelike adventures in my channel here as well. Let me know in the comments about all of this. Drop a like if this sparked some ideas, and if you like this video, and hit that subscribe button for more Guild Wars 2 deep dives, theory crafts, and design talk. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy build crafting, my dear friends.